Good morning, everyone. Are you here today? I am here, and so are we.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and remove your hats for the posting of the colors and the playing of the national anthem. Marshals, please seat the graduates. Good morning and welcome to the class of 2022 graduation commencement ceremony. I'm joined on stage by our school board representative, Richard Nelson, our superintendent, John Castle, and our administrative team of Noel Pixley, Anita Mayhew, Gwen Bailey-Rowe, and Diane Tutko. I'd also like to acknowledge all of you, close to 1,000 friends and family who've supported our graduates throughout their childhoods. Thank you so much for your love and your caring. It is clearly evident. My role today is to introduce the class of 2022 and their representatives. But before I do so, I'd just like to acknowledge that this event, like so many others, could not have happened without the help and support of the entire school community. In addition to the countless hours that our staff volunteers have contributed to this event, special thanks go to Mark Dunbar and the maintenance crew, senior class advisor Ian Denzio, and graduation advisor Tiffany Gray for all of their efforts to plan this ceremony and arrange for this beautiful weather. All these folks, as well as our staff and student volunteers, deserve a huge round of applause for their hard work. With that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to this year's graduates. Quick anecdote. Last week, I arrived at school to find my office full of balloons. And after I managed to push enough of them aside to get to my desk, I sat down and felt relief. Primarily that it was such a harmless prank that no one was going to be in trouble, but also, more importantly, it signified to me that things were going to be approaching normal and that our students are going to be just fine. As we all know, the class of 2022 is graduating after a high school career that includes 4 months of fully remote work, a full year of hybrid instruction, and another year of constantly changing guidelines and expectations. I struggled a bit to describe these years. Endured seemed a little bit depressing. Survived didn't seem quite right. Managed, yeah. But none of these really fit. The more I thought about it, the more it became apparent to me that they didn't endure, survive, or manage. They crushed it. I mean, how on earth can you ask high school students to literally relearn how to be a high school student, everything is taken away, and not expect them to fall apart? But this class did not fall apart. In fact, it was just the opposite. Sitting with us today, we have artists who have produced beautiful work, athletes with state championships and amazing individual and team accomplishments, welders, mechanics, cosmetologists, LNAs, who've all built repertoires of skills and attributes that will allow them to be leaders in their fields, musicians, dancers, actors who have performed beautiful performances for us, and the list goes on. Humans are hardwired to heal, and our seniors have shown us through their action accomplishments what it means to heal as a community. Our seniors have shown us that no matter the challenge, they will be fine. In fact, they've shown us that not only will they be fine, we will also. We'll be more than fine. We'll be great, in large part because they are. So thank you, class of 2022, for your greatness and for putting things into perspectives for the adults. Most importantly, for filling my office full of balloons. In today's ceremony, the class of 2022 will be represented by 3 speakers. Ian Applegate is our valedictorian. Ian attended Brighton and Charleston elementary schools, presumably not at the same time, and will be attending Cornell University to study engineering. Amos Willey is our salutatorian. Amos attended Lowell Elementary School and will be attending Seton Hall University to study law. And Cece Marquis is our class president. Cece attended Derby Elementary School and will be attending Florida State University to study dietetics. With that, again, thank you for being here and for your support. Please welcome our valedictorian, Ian Applegate.
Thank you, Mr. Young. And thanks to our parents and family, our teachers and support staff, administrators, directors, coaches, mentors, tutors, and volunteers who helped us along the way. As the saying goes, it really does take a village to raise a high school graduate. And of course, thanks to each and every one of us who traveled this path together, who shared the journey, the laughter, and the tears. As we take this time to reflect on our experience here at North Country, we realize we have learned one of life's most indispensable lessons. We learned, the hard way at times, to navigate change, and even to understand change as something not to be dreaded or avoided, but embraced for its positive effects on our development and our lives. At this moment, I ask you all to think back to your 8th grade graduation ceremony. I know for some of you, that is a very hazy memory. But for those of us about to graduate today, it's easy to sum it up. After all, it was only 4 short years ago. We were the big fish in the little pond, so sure we were ready for high school. We were eager to move on. Our heads were full of fantasies about the adventures that awaited us. It was June, the summer lay ahead of us, and life was good. 2 short months later came the first day at North Country. In an instant, our confidence and enthusiasm evaporated. This school was so big. There were literally hundreds more students, teachers, and staff than we had been accustomed to in our elementary and middle schools. And there were seniors, and we were freshmen. As reality set in, our illusions dissolved. The good news was that it didn't take too long to adapt. A few weeks, or was it months, and we had regained our bearings. No longer did we get lost going from A to B to C wings, or struggle through the halls like a fish heading upstream against a strong current. We began to figure out our learning styles, as much more was expected of us to become independent learners, set our own deadlines, and rise to each new occasion. By the next summer vacation, for the most part, we had settled in. We had the sense we knew it was coming and could handle it. Admittedly, there were adjustments we'd had to make. For many of us, the friends and classmates we'd grown up with from kindergarten through 8th grade were now involved in different educational pursuits or different sports or extracurricular activities. Making the transition from familiar to new relationships, more competitive athletic teams, and greater academic demands were hurdles we had to overcome. By our sophomore year, we had regained our confidence. Many of us had established a routine that we could follow, and life became simpler again. Classes were going relatively smoothly, and we felt more relaxed, especially those of us who found ourselves at the top of a mountain on a cool fall day in the Kingdom course. Once again, we had our footing. Then came COVID. As the virus settled in across the world, we found ourselves engulfed in a sea of uncertainty and fear. With the virus came alien concepts, lockdown, isolation, social distancing. The original excitement of working from home slowly disappeared. We were tasked with the challenge of picking up a new form of virtual and remote learning. Our social lives also changed dramatically. Without the positive energy that friendships provide, it was hard to sustain motivation for doing schoolwork. We no longer enjoyed the gift of small interactions with friends in the halls, at lunch, after school, or in practices. Similar to the crisis of George and Lenny and of Mice and Men, our best laid plans had come crashing down around us. In our junior year, we welcomed being able to return to school, but not without restrictions. Some of the more prominent ones being a new block schedule, attending school every other day according to the first letter in your last name, and other limitations in the classroom and lunchroom, in sports and the arts. Without the outlet of extracurricular activities, our self-expression was hindered, and opportunity for social support was inevitably less direct. One day we would be able to gather with friends, the next we were locked down again. I noticed I became better friends with those whose last names began with the letters A through L. Viewed through the lens of physics, outside forces acted on us from a variety of directions, and their effects were never easy to account for. Statistically, our linear approximation of the content knowledge we plan to acquire may have been overestimated. But our approximation of our acquisition of crucial life skills was definitely underestimated. Over the past 2 years especially, we have been rocked as learners by extreme and abrupt change. With the passage of time, we can now appreciate the advantages of in-person learning that we may have previously taken for granted, or that may have even gone unnoticed. Most notably, the significance of collaborative classroom interaction with teachers and students, and the influence of multiple perspectives that cause us to think more critically. Despite the unexpected roadblocks, we did get through for many reasons. Primarily, our relationships with family members, friends, and teammates provided us the day-to-day support we needed to overcome the barriers presented by the pandemic. Also, our teachers, who made sacrifices in order to provide us with the best learning environments possible, and who always put on a smile to encourage us to make the most out of our circumstances. It was also our willingness to laugh at ourselves or laugh with others about the ridiculousness or outrageousness of the reality we found ourselves in that helped us through tough times. Our, and others' sense of humor is what saved us. We learned that while our first response to change is usually negative, when we resist, complain, get angry, or are even willing to fight it, we become our own worst enemy. We realized we were all better off when we could go with the flow. We discovered new and creative ways to accomplish our tasks and reach our goals. Today, we are amazed to find that unexpected change can reveal to us inner gifts or talents that we did not know we possess. We now understand that we are courageous, resilient, and capable of much more than we imagined. We did not succumb to our fear of failure, but pushed through to reach our goals. We now know that by believing in ourselves, we can seek out more diverse opportunities and take on tougher challenges. The struggles that confronted us in our transition to high school and the curveballs thrown at us by the COVID pandemic helped us develop traits of flexibility, optimism, self-reliance, determination, hopefulness, and internal motivation. These qualities helped us work through adversity and come out on the other side stronger than before. Today, as we look back on these past 4 years, we realize that change is inevitable, and that even ideal systems require change at times to keep them viable and responsive. I encourage you all to celebrate our unusual high school experience as something that will empower us to welcome and even appreciate change as motivation for growth and progress in our future. It is now my pleasure to introduce our salutatorian of the graduating class of 2022, Amos Willie.
All right, thank you, Ian. Your words certainly do not understate how the pandemic affected our high school years. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all as the communities on which North Country Union High School was built. Every year, it's a pleasure for students to draw a crowd of parents, relatives, and friends that truly care. Graduation, to me, has always seemed like an event that brings the best out of all of us. It's a day of joy, celebration, and unity. Instead of just giving a boring speech, I'd like to tell a brief story too. A couple of weekends ago, when I was considering what to write about in this speech, a radio ad caught my attention. Of course, Memorial Day was around the same time, and this advertisement was talking about how important it is to recognize veterans who fought for our American way of life, especially in these times. By all means, veterans deserve more recognition than they will ever receive, but the phrase American way of life used in that ad really stuck in my mind. What was that American way of life that millions of soldiers have died to protect? Is it the same today? In short, no. Our country was, of course, founded on the principles life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and a great society was born. Early Americans understood their right to be an individual, but they also understood that didn't mean they could selfishly ignore the needs of everyone else. The American way of life was just as much about charity and compassion as it was about freedom. In years with a poor crop yield, Americans pooled their resources to even survive. Until about a half century ago, everyone was still asking what they could do for their country, as the late John F. Kennedy requested. Lately, however, even in our hospitable slice of Vermont, people get so caught up in feeling self-righteous that they blindly ignore the needs and opinions of others. At my drugstore cashier job, I've seen it from both sides of politics. Whether I'm being lectured for wearing a mask underneath my nose or being told how ineffective the COVID vaccine is. With this, it should come as no surprise that Americans are less patriotic than ever. Per a Gallup poll, only 63% of Americans claim to be very patriotic compared to 85% in just 2013. This decrease isn't the fault of any politician or a certain president many would like to blame. We, the American people, are directly accountable. Each of us, myself included, has been too selfish and nearsighted to just agree to disagree and value one another regardless, as Americans always did. We've all been far too preoccupied with our lives, finances, or political beliefs to be good citizens to each other. Nothing truly polarizing even tends to happen here. What's the most hotly contested debate in Newport? Allowing ATVs on city roads? As an entire community, we can't be so quick to resort to insult and conflict. When we see a national tragedy, like the shooting in Uvalde, Texas, we should not immediately freak out about gun control or the lack thereof. If you want an example of what you should do, look at the North Country Union High School student body. Last week, students here at North Country organized a memorial for the 21 children and teachers who lost their lives. We did it to mourn and grieve for the dead, not to push a political agenda, not to argue and fight, but to grieve and heal together, as we all should for such a loss. The second we turn a horrific event like that into a talking point is the second we jeopardize our American way of life. We all have the right to express our beliefs and ideas from the Constitution. That's why I have the privilege to be speaking here today. And we all should exercise that right to the fullest. Being individuals and having a diverse pool of minds is one of the things that makes this country great. Well, one of the things that makes this country even better is everyone respecting that right to expression, that right to be heard. I truly believe that if any place in the country can elevate to that standard, it is this community here. We all know one another. All that's left to do is put others first and never forget how important it is to love, respect, and care for each other.
I'm a surprise, so I'm not in the program. Thank you to the Senior Steering Committee for inviting me to speak on behalf of your teachers today. The thing is, I never wanted to be a teacher. I come from a family of teachers. My great-grandmother, my grandfather, and my mother were all educators. Because of this, the very last thing I wanted in life was to be a teacher. I attended college at the University of Central Florida in Orlando, not too far from home, and majored in advertising. I dreamed of a life in a big city, New York to be exact. I thought I would live a very Mad Men lifestyle with long lunches, travel, really cool colleagues, and of course, a fat paycheck. And yet, my first job after college was working for the Florida dairy farmers. I was the education marketing coordinator, and my job was to promote dairy materials to schools. This was the time of the Got Milk campaign, and everyone wanted pencils, stickers, and posters of Britney Spears with a milk mustache. After a year or so, I realized I did not love my job. I hated it, actually. There were mornings when I couldn't even get myself out of bed. And I wondered, why had I paid for this college degree if I was working a job I couldn't stand? However, the teachers I worked with seemed really happy with their careers. They talked to me excitedly about their students, their lessons, and they told me how much they loved what they did. And the more I spoke with them, the more I knew I had to go back to school. It took 2 years, but I earned a graduate degree in history education, and to my surprise, I got my first job teaching 6th grade English and social studies within a day. After my interview, I was startled to see my future principal chasing after me, literally running through the parking lot to make the job offer before I could run away. They must have been desperate. Not even a month into that first year, Al-Qaeda bombed the World Trade Center, changing the world we live in forever. And it was then that I realized the heavy responsibilities that come with being a teacher. I learned that my job was so much more than teaching content, although if you've had me, you know how much I love the Constitution. My job was also to help prepare tiny humans for life in an ever-changing world. I learned that, as Ian stated, it takes a village to raise children, and I wanted to do my part to help my community and my country thrive. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia to try big city living for several years, but after being swept off my feet by my husband Tyler and his tales of the Northeast Kingdom, I found myself in Vermont. I've remained a public school teacher throughout all of my moves because I believe that public schools are a public good. And in order for our democracy to work, we need citizens who can read and write, problem solve, and think critically. After all, these guys might be our future neighbors, our coworkers, or even our boss. If we take care of our students and educate them well, that effort will benefit the entire community. One of the most wonderful parts about teaching is that every year in every class, you get to create these tiny little families. Each class has its own identity, and of course, I love them all equally. At the end of the school year, I'm sad when they leave, and when I drive home, I always cry. I will be especially sad when this class leaves, as we have navigated one of the most difficult periods in American education together. For you, the class of 2022, after a typical start to high school, the world changed in March of 2020. Overnight, you found yourselves studying government from home and joining Google Meets from afar. Fun fact, I once had a student who joined class from a manure spreader on a farm in Troy. Another student joined from a fishing boat off the coast of Florida. Such dedication. From home that spring, students were able to watch daily press conferences from political leaders, study the decisions being made, and discuss them, sometimes awkwardly, with their classmates online. 11th grade seemed like it would be smooth sailing with a hybrid schedule, but there was still an awful lot of weirdness. We were disconnected from each other. Some days at school, some days we were in virtual classrooms, and sometimes we were all on our own. And this year, senior year, when we thought life would be normal again, the world was hit with the new COVID variants, which may have kept you homesick or in quarantine throughout the year. In addition to COVID, you've experienced a tumultuous election, nationwide conversations about a range of social issues, and now a war in Ukraine. You have lived through a lifetime of history in just 3 short years. All of these experiences have resulted in many of us feeling unsure about ourselves, our future, and the world we live in. I have shared my meandering personal story with you. I went to college, I thought I knew what I wanted, but it turned out I was wrong and I started over. I grew up on the beach. I tried out living in a big city and then ultimately made the decision to be here in the kingdom. This is life. It can be complicated and messy and often very difficult, even when people make it look easy on social media. But that is not living. It's easy to sit back, tune out, and let life slide by. Instead, we should follow the advice of Riley Janessa's favorite president, FDR, who ran for office in 1932 during the Great Depression, and he felt like something had to be done. He said in a speech that May, "It is common sense to take a method and try it. If it fails, admit it frankly and try another. But above all, try something. This is how we live a life." We all spend so much time trying not to mess up. We want to make sure every choice is the best one, and so we research and discuss and sleep on it until it paralyzes us. But if we can just make a plan, take the first step, make the first move, put ourselves out there, we will ultimately benefit from it, even if it turns out we don't like the decision we made. We get the opportunity in life to try again. To the caretakers of these gorgeous, gorgeous graduates, thank you for sharing your children with us the past 4 years, and thank you for trusting us to keep them safe. And graduates, as you set off into adulthood, please know that we are all here cheering you on and wishing you the best on your journey. Thank you, I love you all, and register to vote.
Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to present to you the North Country Union High School graduating class of 2022. The first member of the class of 2022 to receive his diploma is class valedictorian Ian Applegate. The second member of the senior class of 2022 to receive his diploma is class salutatorian Amos Willie. Autumn Alexander. Gavin Allen. Logan Anthony. Enrique Aponte. Bria Austin. Hunter Atherton. Alyssa Benuelos. Brandon Baker. Kaya Bean. Keep going, huh? Bailey Bartley. Abigail Belize. Casey Biotti. Audrey Benjamin Mears. Dustin Beloin. Alexia Booth. Shauna Bover. Natasha Bowen. Bailey Booth. Benjamin Brewer. Chase Brainerd. Andy Broadbent. Elijah Briggs. Ryan Caffrey. Michaela Cadu. Josephine Chitomber. Corinne Carpenter. Katie Coder. Haley Shilifu. Ryan Collins. Jaden Coburn. Marissa Cody. Tristan Colburn. Noah Krogan. Logan Coda. Bailey Guyette will be accepting on Logan's behalf for the family. Kayla Daniels. Christopher Digest.
Natalie Desjardins. Clarissa Demers. Faith Dobler. Brianna DeLands. Hope Dobler. Tyler Dewing. Jake Elwell. Trayton Gervais. Ezra Favreau. Taylor Falconer. Taylor Gilson. Ava George. Samuel Ganya. Austin Giroux. Bailey Guyette. Alina Gravlin. Ashton Hamlet. Oliver Haddock. Landon Hamilton. Shay Hamel. Jenna Hatton. Braden Harris. Joseph Higginson. Garrett Heath. Joseph Holdley. Bex Holly. Eric Isabel. George Jacobs. Riley Janess. Cheyenne Johnson. Lex Johannesson. Mia Kelly. Hallie Judd. Carly King. McKenna Kerr. Christopher Kirsch. Addison Kipp. Aaron Lamont.
Celine LaMadeline. Dylan Longtine. Aspen Lamphere. Willow Largy. Aaron LaPierre. Jake LeBlanc. Rachel Larrabee. McKenna Lewis. Leah Lewis. Bethany Lyon. Samantha Liberta. Cecilia Marquis. Mackenzie McGee. Caitlin Mason. Mason Marquis. Trisha Mayhew. Jeremiah Mayfield. Trevor McAllister. Joseph Mayfield. Madison McCrae. Julian Maxim. Daniel Medina. Kyle McCoy. Laura Mills. Joseph Mead. Kellyanne Mobbs. Lila Merrill. Dylan Moulton. Cade McNack. Sophia Nicotina. Elijah Morris. Kendall Page. Cassidy Mutter. Emma Perkins Chatterton. Wesley Ortiz. Maya Peters. Abby Percy.
Allison Pillsbury. Riley Perry. Jonathan Prey. Seth Pierce. Libby Prue. Dorothea Potter. Ryder Richardson. Mitchell Provancha. Paige Ramsdell and Abigail Little. Vermillion Reardon. Max Roberts. Ari Rinaldi. Colin Santa. Rayana Santa. Matthew Santa. Sarah Shearer. Zachary Scarf. Michaela Sheltra. Savannah Shaw. Destiny Sorrell. Logan Snyder. Sven St. Francis. Jasmine Spalding. Cameron Starr. Jeremiah Stacy. Julie Tangway. Madison Sutton. Abigail Thompson. Freya Thompson Chapdelaine. Tyler Turcott. Lindsay Tinker. Blair Webster. Emma Ward. Kaylee Wheeler. Dylan Willie. And the last student to receive their diploma for 2022 is Cadence Willis. And now your senior class president, Cecilia Marquis.
Good morning. Wow, let me try that again. Good morning. Okay. I was elected by the students you are here to support today as class president. The number of candidates you ask, that's minor. Throughout this speech, I would like you to keep in mind side effects. Let me explain. When I look at our world, I look at all of the side effects. Everything that happens after the thing happens. Let me preface this by saying, we graduates are not side effects, yet we will cause great ones. I'll give some examples to start. I'm not sure if you've heard of COVID, but COVID rocked our little world these past couple of years. It seemed to have had many side effects. These include freshmen who rip hand sanitizer dispensers off the walls and block entire hallways just to talk to their friends, sophomores, who seem to have taken up all of the parking spaces in the last couple of weeks, but I'm not sure we can blame that one on COVID, and juniors, who have more confidence than I have ever seen. Not all of these side effects were bad, though. COVID forced North Country as a whole to recognize and take action regarding mental health. Although sometimes I wish teachers would have fewer meetings about their feelings and more perhaps on the heating system or grading system. But let's not get into that mess. Seriously though, mental health plays a massive part in our learning, and I hope that as we move on into the real world, we can stay in contact to support each other. This past year, I tried to live by one idea. That idea is that we live on a floating rock that we call Earth. Crazy, right? But this helped me decipher what was really important. I used this idea to say, I'll do this assignment tomorrow because we're just on a floating rock and I might as well have some fun on it. But I also use this idea to think about how I can make my life mean something, how I can cause side effects. Each individual sitting in these chairs will cause side effects, but I want you guys to think about what you want those to be. Will you be the doctor that cures cancer? Or the person who commits insurance fraud? Which, by the way, I think I can do now thanks to Miss Hamby. Sure, our lives are hard to predict, but you can pave your path however you'd like if you have enough determination. Determination is one thing this class is not new to. I'd like all of you who have been through high school already to think about your experience. Think about those challenging classes, awkward social interactions, and the activities that come with it, like athletics, pep rallies, and concerts. Now take those hard classes and practically teach yourself that class in your bedroom. Those social interactions just became a lot more awkward. How weird was it to answer a question on a Zoom call just for another person to answer it at the same time and neither of you be heard? Or to miss a whole lecture because you're busy setting off all the smoke alarms in your house because of your cooking in the next room over. That's a true story, by the way. Having athletic seasons, clubs, and frankly any social gatherings taken away can really take a toll on your motivation. Yet here we are. Thinking back to freshman year, having pep rallies and big football games with all of these wonderful students, it brings back the excitement that brought us all here together in the beginning. All of these young adults have improved so much and hopefully proven to themselves how much they are capable of. The perseverance and grit in all of us makes me excited to come back in 10 years or 20 years and see what you have done, because I know your side effects will be extraordinary. Thank you, North Country, and good luck to my fellow graduates.
Good morning. 40 years ago, as senior class president of the graduating class of 1982, I got to provide the welcome address. So I'd like to take a short moment to say thank you. First and foremost, thank you to the staff, faculty, and administration of North Country Union High School for hosting such a wonderful graduation. They deserve a round of applause. Thank you very much. I also want to take a moment to thank all of you, our whole community, all the staff, all the faculty, all the administration, school board members, parents, and community members that make this day possible. Thank you for your continued commitment to character, competence, creativity, and community. Marshals, please raise the graduates. Congratulations to the class of 2022. Please turn your tassels. Marshals, please lead the graduates out of graduation. Thank you, everybody.